in the kitchen, a surprise visit from my daughter's kitchen in North Carolina. So Caleb was supposed to help me, but he got a better offer from his father to play basketball. So I am preparing something that I thought would be something different and worth sharing. I know I haven't seen you guys in a while. Life's been kind of disjointed as it is for all of you. And I'm just grateful to be here with those I love and preparing one of their favorite meals. So, so today I'm going to make a Greek meatball, and we're going to use fresh herbs like dill and fresh Italian parsley and a little mint, onions, garlic, mix that up with eggs and breadcrumb, and we're going to do it just like we would an Italian meatball, but we're also going to add feta cheese for something different to give it that little Greek twist. I'm also going to be preparing some Taziki sauce, which is sour cream, lemon juice, garlic, onion, fresh dill again, and cucumbers. And we're going to puree that and make a nice creamy Taziki sauce. And then I'm actually going to make some lemon roasted potatoes, and I have my potatoes already cut up. So this is going to be one of my, quick and easy type of recipes. I'm going to start with my potatoes because they take the longest to cook. And again, this is pretty basic. I have cut up my potatoes into nice bite-sized chunks, okay? And I'm going to drizzle them generously with some extra virgin olive oil, okay? I'm going to generously sprinkle them, sorry about that, with some garlic powder. And I use garlic powder with the potatoes. It just coats them so much easier, but you can always use fresh garlic. I'm going to use some dried oregano, which I love, and that was at the tail end. So I like to make my potatoes like this. I do them with my roasted chicken like this, which I've made for you before, so I know you're familiar with that. We're going to season with some salt. I love this little salt dispenser, and pepper. Not too heavy on the pepper. Kids won't like that. I am going to squeeze some lemon juice on these. Since we're going Greek, I'm going to give that nice little bit of lemon juice. And actually, I also like using some lemon rind on them just to give that extra layer of flavor. Okay, so I'm going to just grate some lemon. Hey, Bonnie. It's a surprise visit. I did this very spur of the moment. I didn't give anybody any notice, but I figured you could always catch me later on when you have the time. I may have even had some false starts because I wasn't sure how to set up my trusty camera. I didn't have my tripod with me, so I'm improvising, and you know how that is. I do a lot of improvising in the kitchen. So, okay, so we have the roasted potatoes. Like I said, very simple. Cut up your potatoes nice and evenly. You're going to drizzle them with olive oil, season with salt and pepper, dried oregano, squeeze some fresh lemon, also some garlic powder or fresh garlic, and season with salt and pepper. Okay, so, and again, I like to put some of that lemon zest in here. It just gives an extra measure of flavor. I'm going to go around once more with the salt and the garlic powder since I tossed them. They have enough oregano, and I'll show you what this looks like. And I'm going to pop them in the oven on, depending on your oven, but I'm going to be cooking on convection roast. See? Very simple. Okay, that's going in the oven. Hi, Sandy. I see you there. You know, one of the things about preparing food is you want to do things in an order that makes sense, so that, you know, the stuff that takes the longest, you start first and then you can work backwards. The next thing I'm going to do, I have some ground lamb. Okay, and this is organic ground lamb. You know, lamb, it's got a lot of flavor because it has a lot of fat. And again, nobody likes that word, but it's what makes it really good. So, wait, what did you say there? Oh, yes, aren't these really nice? I bought these for my daughter as a gift. Zandy's talking about these fancy salt and pepper shakers. Well, I love them. I want to steal them from her. Hi, Leilani. I'm doing a surprise visit from North Carolina. So these are especially good for us seasoned ladies that are that don't have a lot of strength in your hand. So I'm gonna put a nice amount of salt on these. I'm gonna also add some pepper. Now, my daughter has a beautiful garden in her backyard, so my grandson and I picked some fresh herbs. And like I said, we have some fresh dill, we have some fresh, here's the dill. Oh, I love dill, look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. So I'm gonna chop that up real fine. And the weather here in North Carolina is starting to get really warm. So her herb garden is starting to go to seed. So it's so funny how the different areas, you gotta just know the timing of everything. You know, just like that Ecclesiastes verse, there is a time and a season for everything under heaven. There's a purpose for every season in our life. So I'm gonna sprinkle some of this nice dill, okay? And I'm gonna take some Italian parsley. I had to leave my Italian parsley in Florida, and that really broke my heart because it is at its peak. The leaves were just so beautiful. And actually, Sandy, I'm thinking of you. Sandy came to my house with another friend, and she brought me a bouquet of herbs for a little sweet hospitality gesture, and I was so thrilled to have those herbs. I used them all up before I left, and that's a girl after my own heart. I would always say what really impresses me is the kind of garden that people have, not really diamonds or fancy houses. Let me see your garden. And Leilani, my friend, has one of the most spectacular gardens I've ever seen. Is that Rosie over there? You know, I have the camera set up a little away from me, so forgive me if I can't really see you. So another thing I have in here is a little fresh mint. See how I chop up those herbs? Now I'm gonna put 2 eggs. Caleb was supposed to be helping me with this, but then Dad came home from work and he's like, Neen, I gotta go. I am going to play basketball with my daddy. And I'm gonna also use some breadcrumb. So my daughter's gluten-free, which I talk about a lot. So she has these great gluten-free, Italian flavored 4 Seasons breadcrumb. Highly recommend. I actually made shrimp oregano last night. I don't think I've made those with you yet, or have I? I can't remember. But if I haven't, I will one day. But these are actually delicious on the shrimp oregano. So I'm gonna put about, we'll start with like a 1/2 cup of the breadcrumbs. I'm also going to take, so I made my puree, you know what that looks like. This time I added a little onion also. So I'm using, because these are Greek meatballs and this is lamb, I'm just putting a little bit of a twist on my ingredients. So I combine, my husband calling me. He's in Florida, I'm here in North Carolina. He might try to call me back again. In any case, I put in about a tablespoon of that garlic. Maybe I'm gonna put a little more. It's garlic and onion minced. We want these to really have a nice flavor. So I have 2 eggs, I have parsley minced, I have fresh dill and fresh mint, and I am also going to put something a little different, but this is gonna really add a nice zip to these meatballs, some feta cheese ground up. Okay? Now, not everybody's a fan of feta, but because we're going Greek, you know, we have to make it authentic. I'm gonna take my rings off here. So what I'm gonna do is, you know how you don't wanna work the meat too hard, so you see how it's just very much like you're making a regular Italian meatball. I think I'm actually gonna get another egg because I used 2 pounds of lamb. Normally I use about 1.5 pounds of the meat. So I am going to stop a second and get another egg. We want to have the right consistency, and when you have 2 pounds of meat, you definitely need 3 eggs, okay? And because we want the ratio between the meat, the breadcrumb, and the eggs to just be balanced. Because if you have too much meat and not enough bread and not enough eggs, you will have a drier, harder. I'm gonna put a little more. So I probably used about 1 cup of these breadcrumbs in here, okay? And you can smell the garlic, the cheese. See that? Now what I'm gonna do with these, I'm going to actually roast them in the oven. So I am going to drizzle them with some olive oil after I got them all mixed up, okay? Now I'm gonna add a tiny bit of dairy just to give a little more moisture, just like a splash, okay? And that dairy really adds that moisture that's nice. Another little layer of fat. So again, we have in here chopped fresh parsley, fresh dill, a little bit of fresh mint, not too much. We have feta cheese, about 1/2 cup, maybe 1/4 cup. We have onion and fresh garlic. I'll give you the measurements when I write the recipe online. We have some breadcrumb, and we have eggs. Okay, just lost my parchment paper. So I'm just gonna roll out a couple of these just to give you an idea. The smell is really, really good. Let me get back here so you can see. Okay, so you should have, this is like the perfect consistency. So let me show you. See how they form so nice? That's it. If they don't form that easily, they're too dry. So that's a little big. I actually want to make them a little smaller. So how has everybody been doing? Are you still cooking? You know, after the, well, not that we're still not dealing with Corona, because we are, unfortunately. But, you know, we're trying to get back to some normalcy. And it's kind of an unknown territory right now. We're all trying to figure it out. So I think we have to go cautiously and pray and, you know, just be wise. Okay, so you see these little meatballs? Are you seeing them? Wait, let me turn them around. I'm putting them on my cookie sheet, okay? And what I'm gonna do with these is I'm just gonna spray a little bit of olive oil on them so that they get nice and browned in the oven. Okay, now I'm gonna serve this with a nice Greek salad. You know, romaine, cucumber, red onion, tomato, feta cheese, right? Just a nice vinaigrette, lemon vinaigrette dressing. This is such a simple meal. You can do these in the morning, and you can, you know, you can just prepare the meat like this, and then you can pop them in the oven. You know, because they're not going to take long to cook, probably about 20 minutes. You just have to, hey Jackie, hi sweetie. And, you know, you just want to make sure that they, I feel like I'm making these a little too big. I don't know, I have to check this out. Because you know, the thing about the meatballs, when you do them in the oven, even when you fry them, you've got to make sure your centers are cooked as evenly, you know, as the outside. So I'm going to start them on a lower heat just to kind of bake them a little, and then I'll turn the heat up a little bit to just get them nice and brown. So like I said, I'm making a nice Greek salad and also some lemon roasted potatoes and that nice tzatziki that we're going to be preparing now. So I'm going to ask you to give me a minute because I'm going to have to wash my hands before we do the next step. I'm going to wait to put these in the oven, but I don't want to keep you too long since I kind of sprung this on you out of nowhere. Again, you can make these a little smaller if you want. Let me just wash my hands. Give me a second. Okay, you know, it's important that we don't cross-contaminate because the next part of this I'm going to use sour cream, and I'm not going to be cooking that, so we have to make sure that, that we're not cross-contaminating. So now, since I'm not in my own kitchen, I kind of forget sometimes where everything is. Okay, so I'm just using regular sour cream. And anybody that's been to a good Greek, we have a great Greek restaurant by us. We absolutely love it. We go there religiously, probably once a month. So what I'm gonna do is, to this sour cream, I am going to add some cucumbers. Now, my grandson loves cucumbers. He just goes crazy over them. So look at these adorable little cucumbers. You can keep the skin on them. They're perfect. So I'm going to blend them up in my trusty old mini chop that you all know how much I love, right? I'm gonna start with one. So you want there to be some, you know, consistency, some texture. So don't puree them. Make sure though that they're evenly minced. And using the mini chop is the easiest way, quite honestly. So let me show you that. See that? I'll scrape the sides so you can see. That is the perfect consistency. So I'm gonna dump, I think one of those little cucumbers is gonna be enough. And you want to get all that juice in there too. The next thing we're gonna add is the lemon juice. And I'm gonna use my daughter's fancy lemon reamer. Okay, so this is gonna probably be about a tablespoon. Now my grandchildren don't love a strong lemon, so I'm gonna, or my son-in-law for that matter. So I'm gonna go a little easy. I'm gonna add some salt and pepper to this. Is that fancy salt dispenser? Little light on the pepper for the kids' sake. And actually add a tiny bit of olive oil. And I'm gonna add my delicious fresh herbs. See, so the ones that I had minced for the meatballs are also going to go into the tzatziki. Especially that delicious, delicious fresh dill. And then the next thing I'm gonna use is some of this minced garlic and onion. Now, I'm gonna be light on that. I'm talking, you know, like half a teaspoon at first. You know, you can always add to this, but you cannot take it out. See that tzatziki? Now, if you feel, the good thing about this is, if you feel like you went too far with the herbs, which I don't think I did, but if anything is a little too strong, you can just add a little sour cream. It's very forgiving. garlic, onion, lemon juice, sour cream, salt and pepper, tiny bit of olive oil, fresh dill, fresh parsley, and a tiny bit of mint, okay? Now I'm gonna taste this. The consistency is perfect. See that, how easy? And I'm gonna taste that. I can add a little more garlic to that. And actually, garlic and lemon. I'm also gonna add a little more salt. But like I said, if I got carried away with any one of these ingredients, I think I have enough cucumber here. The cucumber, again, is, you know, I mean, all the fresh herbs. Just add to your discretion. That's it. There's my delicious tzatziki. So we have my meatballs, which I will continue to roll out. I'm putting them on parchment paper, and I'm gonna use, I'm gonna just drizzle, or you can spray if you have the olive oil spray. I'm gonna start them on 350, and then after I have them in about 15 minutes, I'll probably raise it to about 400 because I want them to get nice and evenly brown. In my meat, I also have, besides the ground lamb, I have breadcrumbs, I have a little splash of dairy, milk, or whatever you have in the house. I use feta cheese instead of grated cheese. I have onion, garlic mince, fresh herbs, dill, mint, and parsley, salt and pepper, garlic and onions, and 2 eggs. And then on my potatoes, it was just olive oil, squeezed lemon, half a lemon. I seasoned with salt and pepper. I also used some lemon rind and some nice dried oregano and olive oil. So that is it. So I'm gonna make a nice Greek salad to go with this. I promise I'll take pictures. I think that you'll like this recipe. I love you too, Jackie, honey, my sweet friend from forever. Hi, Susan. Hi, Amy. I'm sorry I'm done, but go back and watch me. I kind of just popped on with no notice. I feel like I've been gone forever, so forgive me if I was a little disjointed getting started, but it's always a blessing to me to know that, you know, we still can celebrate a lot, being with family, enjoying a beautiful meal together, and being grateful for the simple things. Because, you know, today is our gift. Today is the day that the Lord has given us. So I think sharing a meal together celebrates that gift, and I'm thankful for you. God bless you all. Bye-bye.